everyone, it's Caitlin and welcome to another video. This video is going to be a sort of life update video. If you guys have been following me for a while, you'll know that I decided to leave my graduate program a few months ago. It's actually 3 months ago. So I asked you guys on Instagram if you wanted me to film a little life update and what questions you would want to ask me. So this is basically going to be about my decision to leave school, what I'm doing now, how I'm feeling about it, and things along those lines. So if that is interesting to you, stay tuned. So if I look down at my screen, I actually typed up the questions down there just so I don't forget any of them. Some of you guys asked similar questions, so I combined a few questions, but generally I think I'm going to cover everything that you guys asked me about. So I do want to say before this starts, if this concept is totally novel to you and you've never heard anything about it before, you might want to watch the first video I posted several months ago about why I decided to leave my school program. I was in graduate school studying physical therapy and I decided to put that on hold and pursue my career online instead. And I've also talked about having the courage to do that decision and kind of the process of me thinking through it in that video. So I'm not going to talk about that too much in this one, but if you want to check that out, again, that will be linked below and I'll probably link it here in the video as well. So a pretty common question was, did I get any resistance from friends or family about this decision? And in reality, I didn't at all. All of my friends were really supportive, and at least to my face, they didn't say anything negative to me. And my family was really supportive as well. I was actually kind of surprised. I had been talking to my mom when I was thinking about the process of leaving school, and I was telling her I wasn't happy in school, and she was kind of like just pushing me to pursue my degree. But at the same time, I called my parents and told them that when I decided to leave my program, they were just like, well, okay, you're the one who's paying your tuition and it's your life. We just want you to be happy. So I thought that was really awesome of them, and I really appreciate that because I know that if everyone did this, they might not receive the same support from their parents. Another question was, did you feel like you were giving up on the other stuff you'd worked so hard for to pursue something else? And honestly, no. I feel like that everything in life happens for a reason, and I'm still so grateful for all of the education that I've had and all the things I've learned from it. And just because I'm not going to finish getting my doctorate of physical therapy, I'm still really happy that I have all this knowledge about the human body, and I wouldn't change any of the things that I've done in my life because it is my life, and after those decisions, who knows if I would have ended up on the same path. And also, that being said, I've also worked really hard to build my Instagram and my blog and my YouTube channel. And I was kind of at this crossroads in my life where I was half-assing two things, and I'm not that kind of person. I just want a whole ass one thing. Isn't that like a Michael Scott quote or something? I don't know. But basically, I couldn't dedicate the time that I wanted to my studies and to this career, I guess, that I'm doing now. So that was kind of my point. Like, I had to choose one or the other, and I realized I wasn't passionate about the other thing, so I am still passionate about this thing. And I've mentioned this a little on like Instagram and stuff, but because I do have like a knowledge of the human body, I still do appreciate exercise and movement, but more mindful movement. And I really am considering doing yoga teacher training and somehow incorporating that into my channel or the things that I do online. I'm just kind of looking for the right teacher and time. So it's still going to be like my past education is still going to be in my life in some way, and I'll always carry that education and those experiences with me, but no, I really don't regret anything. So a few people asked, would I ever go back to school, and do I think watching my old classmates go into their fields that I also wanted at one point to go into will ever make me think about the what if moments if I had stayed in school? And so other people asked, like, are you going to regret it? Are you going to go back in school and get your physical therapy degree? And honestly, at this point in my life, no. It's like I said, it's not what I wanted to do anymore. I realized I wasn't passionate about it. And like I just said in the last question, I have no regrets, so I don't regret leaving the program. And a few other people, even my friends, like in real life, have asked me like, oh, isn't it weird to see your friends like go off to their clinicals and get this and get that? And I'm like, no, because that's what they want to do with their lives. They want to be physical therapists. And honestly, the more that I see them progress in their fields, I'm so happy for them. But it just makes me realize that I'm so much more happy with the decision that I make, and I would be miserable if I was doing what they were doing. And everyone is called to do something different, and that's totally okay. I just realized a year into my program, but that's life. And I honestly do not think what if. Like, I'm just like, oh wow, I'm glad I'm not doing that right now, but I'm so happy for them, if that makes sense. Another question, which I think is a really good one, is how do you get past the judgment of others regarding the situation? Sometimes we know what is best for ourselves, but people's snap judgments can be pretty brutal. I would agree. I mean, I think like in the time of me leaving school and deciding to do everything I do online full time, it's kind of weird. I don't really know what to say to people when they ask me what I do. I'm kind of like, I own my own business. I make recipe videos and stuff like that. And usually it's adults who ask you what you're doing. And I think the concept of social media and sort of like owning your own business and being an entrepreneur is kind of novel to that generation, and they don't really understand, especially in the field of social media. A lot of people don't understand that you can completely support yourself by running a business through like YouTube and a blog and Instagram and whatever. So yeah, people do kind of give me weird looks sometimes, but like I said, I am secure in my decision and I know it was the right one for me to make, and I just feel so much more relaxed and happy. And you guys have even commented too, I just seem more happy in my videos, and it's totally true. And I know it's the right decision for me, so who cares what other people think? Like, honestly, I know it's easier said than done, but I'll get looks from people sometimes and they'll be like, oh, good luck with that. I had a guy say that to me just this past week when I told him that I did stuff online and I left PT school, and I was just like, thank you. I mean, honestly, the best thing you can do if someone is doubting your career choice is to just kill them with kindness, or just play oblivious and be like, oh yes, thank you so much. I'm really enjoying it and it's working out well for me, or whatever. I don't know. I just don't let it get to me, because I know that that's their opinion and that's their life, but their opinions of me don't affect me and my life. I ultimately have the power to choose my own happiness, so I'm not gonna let their judgment bother me if I'm happy doing my own thing, you know what I mean? Somebody else asked, when did I start thinking about pursuing social media full time? Did the number of subscribers have anything to do with my decision? And I've been thinking about doing social media full time, probably like just as a lingering thought in the back of my mind for like the last, I don't know, like 6 to 9 months, I would say. Like, I always thought it was a job. No, that's not true. I always thought it was fun, and I realized once I started to make money from it that it could be like a side job, but I didn't really think about doing it full time, probably until I was like a few months into grad school, and I was like, well, I could be doing this other thing instead. And the number of subscribers did not really directly have anything to do with my decision to leave school. Excuse me. But I will say that the amount of income I was making did impact my decision, because I think that everyone has a right to pursue their dreams. And if you want to make money online and you want to start a YouTube channel, you want to have a blog, you want to have an Instagram, and you want to support yourself that way, that's awesome. You should totally go for it. But at the same time, I don't think that people should just quit their day jobs or quit their financial security and like start with completely nothing. My friends Hannah and Evan actually recently talked about this on their podcast, Earth to Us. It's one of my favorite podcasts. And I agreed with them. They said basically that. I don't think that you come across as super authentic, or at least it's harder to be authentic when you start something and you're only in it for the money. I think one of the reasons why my YouTube channel has grown was because when I first started, it was purely for fun, and I was never like, okay, I need to get the biggest amount of subscribers in the shortest amount of time possible so I can make a crap ton of money and live a luxurious life. Like, when my channel started to grow, I was honestly just genuinely happy about it. And yeah, it just kind of grew from there, and I had more opportunities. As you guys know, I get money like everyone on YouTube through the ads before YouTube videos, and I partner with brands on YouTube. I also do stuff on my blog and my Instagram. And so when I decided to leave school, it wasn't like, oh, I have X amount of subscribers, it's okay for me to leave school now. But I was like, hey, I make enough money every month to pay for my rent, to pay for my groceries, to pay for all of my expenses, and I love doing this, and I can see this going somewhere. So now is the time for me to fully dedicate myself to this and leave school, because I wasn't passionate about school anymore, and I knew that I could support and sustain myself through my income that was online. So these next few questions are about self-employment and being your own boss. Someone asked if being self-employed is scary, and I don't think I would say that it's scary. Honestly, for me, it's kind of like liberating, because growing up, I had the most strict type A rigid personality. I was the kind of kid who, like, when we got school projects in school, I would be like, I'm just gonna do the whole thing if that's okay with you guys, and we'll get an A. And they were just like, okay. And I was like, great, I'm a control freak, thanks. I've definitely like chilled a lot since then. Like, oh my goodness, I definitely have. But I personally just like to be in charge of myself, and I like to be my own boss. So that part, it's really nice that I don't have to answer to anyone or like do what someone else is telling me to do, and I'm in charge of my own creative content. Not everyone, I guess, has it in them, quote unquote, to be an entrepreneur. Some people just like listening to the instructions of others and just like following a plan. But I'm definitely the kind of person who kind of just like likes to do my own thing. I'd say like the only scary part, though I wouldn't say it's scary, it's just like finances, because that's just not one of my strong suits, but I've been able to manage everything so far. But yeah, so far I guess I'm just enjoying being an entrepreneur. Another question was, how do I deal with the uncertainty that comes with being an entrepreneur? And I mean, there's uncertainty in any job. You never know, like, you could get fired, your company could go under, and you could lose your job. I just feel like when people have a boss and like a quote unquote stable job with a salary, like they're like, okay, I'm secure, but in reality, nothing in life is guaranteed. I mean, yes, owning your own business is a little bit more scary because it's all on you, and especially in lines of social media, like your income can come and go in waves depending on like what you're doing at the moment. But I think if you're smart about it and build a sustainable brand and business through your social media, it's not really, your income isn't really uncertain. Like, you can generally expect to earn the same amount of money every month through like ads on your blog or ads on your YouTube videos, and over time you can kind of see how you average in other products you sell and generate things like passive income, which is basically a product that you create, such as an ebook or a t-shirt, and you know people will buy that, but you don't have to do any additional work for it. I feel like I'm getting too much into like business side of things. I'm sorry, I listen to a lot of like podcasts, but yeah. Someone else asked, as a blogger, how does one make a living, and roughly about how much money does one make off of one post? And I've kind of already talked about this in the video. As a blogger, or just like as any online presence, you can make a living off of your content. YouTube is actually YouTube and blogs are basically the only content that you just get money for your content. Like if you put ads on your blog, when people view those ads, they get money. When you watch an ad for a YouTube video, you get money. If you work with brands, you get money. You can create products to sell money. There are affiliate links. There are actually a lot of different ways to create an income online. And the best part about it is you don't have to just choose one of them. You can sort of explore different streams and see what's working for you. But I can't really tell you how much a blogger makes off of one post, because that is totally dependent on the blogger, the time of year, the brand, and the work involved in the project. Obviously, there are plenty of bloggers and YouTubers who are bigger than me who are making a crap ton of money off of posts, way more than I'm making. And there are a lot of people who have smaller brands or channels than me who are making less money. So I've really, like, it honestly depends. I've had several projects that completely range in the amount of money I get, and I'm not going to tell you how much money I make on a post or how much money I make in general, just because that's my life. I'm allowed to tell you what I want to tell you and what I don't. But like I said earlier, I do make enough money to support myself. And that's the most important thing for me. Like I just want to be able to support myself and be happy. Another question was, do I have a structured routine still now that I'm not in a scheduled like 9 to 5 job? And yes, I do. I kind of think it would be a mistake to not have a structured routine, because if I just let myself like, oh, sleep until 11 today. Oh, I would never do that. I wake up at like 9 at the latest. Anyways. Or, oh, I'll just take today off or whatever. I still try to work like during the standard working hours of the day. I just find that's when I'm the most productive and efficient. And honestly, I'm the kind of person who is more likely to overwork myself than to not work at all. I'm a highly motivated person and I love being productive and efficient. So the hardest part for me has actually been to like cut myself off of those structured times. Sometimes I just like work every single day in a week and more than 8 or 9 hours a day, but it's just because I genuinely love the work. But that is something that I'm working on right now, because I definitely don't want to experience burnout, which I think can be a common thing. So now that I got my ebook out and I kind of like got the quote unquote hard stuff that I've been working on for a longer time out of the way, I'm going to try to relax more and, get off my phone a certain time before bed and, stuff like that. But I'm just a very organized and motivated person, like I said, so it hasn't been that hard for me to still set a schedule for myself. So some other questions were involving, is it harder having a social life now that I just work for myself? And do I ever feel like I'm living through a screen because all my work is online? And I mean, honestly, my social life is pretty much the same now as it was when I was in school. Like, I love all of my classmates, but it's not like I hung out with all of them on the weekends. Like, I still hang out with a few of them who I'm close friends with, and I have some friends who are outside of the school system that I was in who I just met in the Miami area, and I still hang out with them. If anything, I probably have more of a social life now because I don't have to work on the weekends and film YouTube videos if I don't want to. I can just like relax and enjoy time with my friends because I actually have time during the week. And realistically, when I was in school, it's not like I'm talking to my classmates while I'm in school. Like I'm in class listening to a teacher. And honestly, I don't really think it is because I still do things. Like, I wouldn't recommend someone to just like totally wall themselves up in their apartment to run their online business. Like, I still go to yoga classes, I have friends there, I'll go to different like vegan events or go out to eat at vegan restaurants. So I still have like a social life outside of that, just like most people have a social life outside of their coworkers or outside of their classmates. So this is already a lot longer than I expected, so I'm just going to do one more question. And someone said, where do you see yourself and your business evolving over the next few like 5 to 10 years? Do I have any upcoming projects or bigger plans I would like to accomplish? And they also said it's okay if I don't know. And realistically, it's not like I have a set in stone plan. Like, I don't have a 10-year plan or anything, but I do know what I kind of want to do and how I want to grow things from there. I have a couple of more long-term projects in my mind that I am thinking over, deciding which one I want to do next. As you guys know, I just released an ebook, and that was a really big project. It took me like 6 months in total to make. So I'm kind of taking a little bit of a break from that, but I definitely have more ideas for future ebooks. I feel like I'm constantly coming up with different content ideas for YouTube as well. And I don't know, I'm just happy with kind of where my business and quote unquote brand is at the moment. And I'm just going to, for the time being, like expand it from there. So I'm not gonna like do a 180 and be like, hey guys, I'm gonna start selling vegan shoes because I'm a shoemaker or something. I am just planning to continue with my brand. But yeah, I think that pretty much answered the question, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it slightly entertaining or helpful. If you guys have any other questions, you can let me know in the comments below and I will try to get back to them. But yeah, that's it. Honestly, thank you guys so much for giving me this opportunity to leave school and do this. Like I've said, I honestly am so happy, and I've only found more clarity and like joy in my life, and I've realized that it was the right decision to make for me. Like, that feeling has only grown since I did decide to leave my program. So I'm really happy I did, and I'm really happy that I have this opportunity to share what I'm passionate about with you guys. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video, I guess. Bye!